Welcome to episode 25 of Win Me the Lottery. Tony, have you ever sold anything online or done a car boot sale or anything like that? I bet you've done a few car boot sales in your time.
You know what? I haven't been to a car boot sale since I was 8. I remember, yeah. I remember going to one and my dad wanted to get like a TV aerial. That's how. It's so random, yeah. And I remember the guy had like a blanket just full of TV aerials, and we probably paid like £1 for it or something. That was probably overpriced as well.
Sounds fantastic. Did they work?
I can't even remember, to be honest.
Probably not.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I mean, funny enough, you mentioned that because I was actually looking at selling some stuff online by eBay, because the first thing I ever did in regards to eBay was buy something. I've never bought anything off eBay. And I was like, why is it so popular? And people actually have their sole income via eBay, and some people actually become financially free from selling so much.
Some of them become eBay millionaires.
eBay millionaires. And I had a friend whose brother used to go to Eastern Europe or Hungary. He used to buy clothes by the kilo or whatever and just tidy it up and sell it off on eBay. Make a killing from there.
That's a great idea.
Another thing I will mention is that with the whole car boot sale and kind of selling stuff online, my YouTube algorithm has been filled up with these kind of, I guess, traders or sellers of retro video games. And I do love game. You know, who doesn't love gaming? So we grew up with like N64 snares, whatever.
You have been talking about this a lot, you and our other mate.
Oh yeah,
retro video. We can't talk about that because it may or may not be legal.
Well, we do own the games. We just play it on the ROMs. But basically, these guys, I mean, they love it. I mean, it's part of their childhood, and they're like buying it, selling it on, having like an online business doing it. I'm like, this is pretty cool. I mean, there's a market for this stuff. I don't know about you, Chris. I mean, would you buy like an old N64 again just to relive those days of just like GoldenEye or something?
I've done it. You know, in uni, we used to crack out the Mario Kart on the N64. And it's a fantastic drinking game. You get all four of you. You've all got a controller. It's on the TV. Okay, if you don't win, down it. Down that entire bottle of whiskey.
Or if you come in last, or
if you're second, third, or fourth.
Oh, okay.
Just down that entire 70 centilitre bottle of whiskey.
Well, I guess you're students, so it's fine. Right?
But yeah, Pokemon as well. You could get that. That was brilliant on the old Game Boy. And I think when I was in uni, you had a lot of time to kill. I was doing an arts degree, so you know what it's like. And I did complete Pokemon a couple of times more. But yeah, I remember Pokemon on the Game Boy was brilliant.
Yeah. Which Pokemon were you playing then? Red or blue?
Blue, red, gold, I think.
Silver
maybe
was
yellow as well.
Okay.
I don't remember if it was yellow in between blue and red, or was that?
No, I think it was after the red and blue sometime. But yeah, a great mention about Pokemon, because Pokemon cards are something that is deemed as something that is valuable these days. So it's almost, I'm kind of heading towards our kind of topic of the week, which is unique investments. Yeah. So we'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, I remember having Pokemon cards.
Yeah, shinies. Gyarados, shiny or whatever.
I mean, do you remember the UK version, was it the shiny Charizard? Everyone wanted that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll be surprised, and you know, listen later, like how much some of these cards go for. I mean, it's wild.
I've probably got a load of them. Anyway, we'll cover that later.
Your mum must have them in the attic.
My mum has thrown a lot of stuff out that I left at home. And if she's chucked away my £1 million Pokemon cards, I don't know what I'm going to say to her. But what other things then, Tony? You know?
No, I mean, those are the things, because what kind of sparked, you know, the interest of this idea of unique investments was that, as you know, we're in May now, and in April in the UK, the ISA reset.
The tax year resets, and it means you've got another 20 grand that you can chuck into your ISA tax-free.
And I guess the difference for this year is that the UK government has given you an extra 5k to invest in UK stocks.
Oh, right, the British ISA.
Yeah,
yes. So is that going live? Is that already live, or is it going live soon?
To be honest, I'm not even interested. I'm like, why would I be investing in UK ones when?
Excuse me.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's true. No, we should do.
We should.
But S&P 500.
To be honest, there are some UK stocks. I know it's not been a vintage time for UK stocks, and there's a lot of talk about Shell and BP potentially delisting from the UK and going to the US. But there are some UK stocks that have done amazingly well. So if you'd have had some like IAG, Aviva, Review, that if you'd have bought them in COVID, you might have doubled your money by now. And they've got strong dividend yields as well. So if you can pick the right one, I was doing a bit of research and Currys was coming up because Currys is a takeover target.
Oh.
And apparently, so at the moment it's going up and up. So we do not give investment advice. But Wetherspoons is another good one. I know I talk about Wetherspoons a lot, but since COVID, they're kind of slowly coming back. They've sold off some of their sort of poorer places in their portfolio. They're opening bigger ones. They've opened one in the O2 where they charge a bit more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, you're right. I mean, the FTSE's at all-time highs now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's good. The reason why I mentioned, the ISA is that, it opens up April and then people could do the usual. If you are taking advantage of the ISA, and you should do, it's just like it gets a bit boring. It's like, what other things could you be investing in?
Boring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's accessible, it's easy.
Yeah.
And you don't have to faff around like putting in money into or researching all these different kind of unique things. So I think that's what's good about it. You open your account and then straight away you've got thousands of things that you can buy. You click a button, it's done.
Yeah, it's almost
what I mean?
Yeah, it's all like diversified, isn't it? And it's just what you want. You want the safety, but
you're not going to an auction
Yeah.
just to find, to Sotheby's or whatever. But yeah, I know what you mean. It could be a little bit more boring than some of these unique ideas. But we will come to that, I suppose.
What I always think about is, we talk about obviously winning the lottery. It's just this rare occasion where, everything's aligned and you get those 6 numbers and you're a millionaire. And I always think about, I guess lottery situations, and Only Fools and Horses comes up in my mind because we know what happens, right? If people watch Only Fools and Horses, Del Boy and Roddy, they've been trying for so many episodes and series of trying to get it rich, get rich.
One day, Rodney, we're going to be millionaires.
And it happens. They find that pocket watch in the garage, don't they?
Yeah.
And it sells for, and I researched this, 6.2 million in auction.
Yeah.
So that is essentially it's a lottery ticket. So,
especially with inflation.
Oh yeah, and he bought. Well, I remember in one of the episodes Rodney was living in a penthouse on the river.
I can't remember. Yeah. But do you remember when they also? I think it happened twice because they also created the Peckham Spring Water, which was literally just out of a tap or something, out of a hose. But yeah, that just shows.
It's great episodes of that one. But yeah, it's just like, what other things could, if it's not pocket watches, another investment.
Well, watches are a great investment, but do you know what could be the most expensive watch of all time?
Which one?
Bernard's watch. We talked about this on an episode before. Bernard's watch where it can stop time.
Yeah.
If you stop time, you just go off and do whatever you want. You can potentially go and recover money from a bank that you feel is indebted to society.
How much do you think that's worth?
You can travel without having to waste your time.
How much would a Bernard's watch if you were
it's priceless.
No,
it's priceless, Tony. It's absolutely priceless.
Yeah. I mean, as you said, can you buy time? If you had Bernard's
watch. In
this
case, yes. But it would be even better if you could reverse time. Which is possible. We know it's possible. The space-time continuum tells us somehow that it must be possible.
Well, Superman did it. I can't remember which version it was. Do you remember that? The Superman film with Christopher Reeves, where he flies the opposite way around the Earth and he reverses time.
But isn't it, if you, it's even proven, if you go outside the planet and they've timed this, and you go in a jet or whatever it is around the Earth, it's slightly less. Oh. Well, no, it's slightly less time than if you'd have gone on planet Earth or closer to planet Earth.
Okay.
So essentially, it's theoretically possible that if you get far enough out of Earth, you'd barely be aging at all. Theoretically, that is possible. Honestly.
So what if I fly away from Earth?
Yeah, if you get a Ryanair jet and you just keep flying and flying and flying, time won't matter to you at all because you'll be dead. No, but seriously, if it's theoretically possible, if the technology were there to get far away enough from Earth, we wouldn't age. Time doesn't happen.
Well, and you're frozen as well.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely
Yeah.
be exactly how you are. Okay, great. I guess we can move on to our usual last Saturday's Lotto result.
Yeah.
And the jackpot was a tasty 15 million.
That's brilliant. That's the highest yet.
That is great to see. Not the 4 million every so often that we get.
And we probably won it.
Regularly, yeah. This would be worth winning, actually, but unfortunately, I might like to say we didn't win it. Didn't get any numbers. So what were the winning numbers? It was 12, 13, 14, 34, 50, 51, and the bonus ball was 22. Machine name was Lancelot, ball set 2. So what were my numbers? I was going to say what were my winning numbers or what were my losing numbers. It was 3, 5, 7, 9, 30 and 55. The only kind of slight positive out of the result there was that there were 0 winners.
Thank God for that.
So that's good.
And especially at 15 million, if this keeps going up, we could be in for a golden payday.
Yeah. Do you remember when, I'm thinking probably like early 2000s, I feel like 20 million was quite, you always heard in Lotto that 20 million seemed to be quite
extraordinary.
Was almost a normal jackpot weekly amount.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
really.
I feel like the jackpots were higher when I was a kid. Do you remember that? Because the National Lottery used to be a bigger deal. They used to have a slot on like BBC One.
Well, Dale Winton was on before. It was brilliant. Yeah.
I remember seeing Britney Spears performing live in the UK. Her debut performance of "Hit Me Baby One More Time"
Lottery.
was on the National Lottery because it was a big deal. Now, when is the... Well, we should know this, actually.
Well, no, I researched it at one point because I remembered it used to be such a big occasion on BBC One. Primetime TV built around it on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And it's now not even on BBC, it's on ITV. And they just put it on as like a 30-second segment where they announce or draw the numbers in between everything else.
Oh, dear.
Which is just such a wasted opportunity. You're talking about the National Lottery.
Yeah, they should do that whole thing where they get performers on again. It was fun at that time.
Just get Anton Deck to host it or something. They stream it as well. It's on YouTube. You can see all the videos. You get Anton Deck on there. Get some performances on, some sort of challenges. Like the Dale Winton quiz show. Maybe they retired it because of Dale Winton's sadly demise.
You know what? They should add it as a segment in Saturday Takeaway thing.
Yeah.
Why not
put it as part of Saturday Night Takeaway? Saturday Night Lottery Takeaway.
Yeah, you could get takeaways for life.
Yeah.
Right. I guess we can move swiftly on to our topic of the week.
Topic of the week, which this week is unique investments. Tony.
So, I mean, when I think of unique investments, I think of bags because I read some bits online and I hear kind of some of my female colleagues talk about it. And
I've heard so much about this only in recent weeks.
Oh, recent weeks for you?
Yeah. Well, even maybe a year ago where I had no idea. If you buy luxury designer bags from certain brands, it's going to go up in price. Is that right, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, for those that may not be familiar, there's this brand called Hermes.
Oh, the delivery company rebranded as Every.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought when people said Hermes. I was like, oh, what? They do bags as well. But yeah, Hermes, like the designer fashion brands, I think they're famous for the bags, right?
Yep.
And they've got this particular bag called a Birkin bag. And, I mean, let's have a look at this. I'm looking at the Sotheby's website, and they've got a bit of content about the Birkin
It's a nice bag.
I mean, it looks all right. And we're looking at up to, 30k for a bag, like £30,000 for
Drop in the ocean.
I mean, if you've got the money, why not? I mean, it's a good bag, apparently.
How much can you fit in it?
I mean, looking at the size of this, I mean, you can't.
What are the dimensions? I mean, it's barely as big as a hand.
You could maybe fit like an iPad Mini in there, maybe.
Yeah.
But the thing is that
An iPhone Pro Max.
yeah, a couple of them. But the thing is that the reason why it's so expensive is that yes, it looks good, but it's exclusive. It's like you can't walk into a Hermes store and go, "I've got 30k. Can I buy a Birkin bag, please?" And I'll be no. You need to be a customer.
On a
loyal customer. And then you kind of progress through this.
Great marketing.
Great, yeah.
It
adds more to its scarcity and.
It's not just saying I've dropped 30k in a bag, which is good enough.
Yeah.
It's saying I have dropped hundreds of Ks on your fantastic Hermes fashion in the past.
Yeah.
And now I've reached the pinnacle because you have handpicked me.
Yeah.
To have the genuine luxury myself or the opportunity to reach the top and get a Birkin bag.
Essentially, you're like this like a smaller group of people that have access to this exclusive bag. And I was speaking to someone that was more familiar with this, and they said, like, actually, in the second-hand market, it can sell even more. Because if you think about it, if it's hard to get, and if you actually go, look, I have access to it, you can buy it off me, but it's going to cost you more because you need to spend X amount to even have access to this bloody bag. But if you had 30k lying around for the missus, would you consider?
If I literally had 30k lying around, or if I had millions and I won the jackpot?
Yeah. I mean,
both answers are the same, because I would definitely get this for the missus.
Would you get one for yourself and for yourself?
Yeah, probably.
Matching.
Yeah.
But for me, even if I won 15 million, like say if we won the 15 million, I don't think I'd spend 30k on this.
No, I mean, what bag would you rather have?
Well, my first requirement is that can I fit a grocery shop in it?
Good point.
No, so I'm still relying on my Sports Direct bag. I mean, it's robust, and I have it in my rucksack, and I can comfortably hold a weekly shop in there, and it's got the extra
weekly shop in one bag.
Yeah, it's the big. Sports
I don't
Direct
think
bag.
I know how big this one is. I've seen them around.
I'll bring it in. I'm talking about the proper robust.
Is it bigger than an IKEA one?
It's about roughly the same size. Roughly the same size, and it's got the reinforced handle, so it doesn't hurt your hands.
So heavy then if you get all of that in there.
Yeah, I'm all about kind of like how useful it is for your day. I mean, it looks good, the Birkin bag, but if I can't hold up my grocery shop in there, then
I think you could probably fit one thing of eggs in there.
Yeah.
And maybe a loaf of bread on top, and then that's it.
Then you wouldn't want to damage.
You wouldn't want to damage your Birkin bag, would you?
So I mean, I guess you can say that's a bit of a unique investment, right? If it's sought after, it goes up in price.
And you know it's going to go up. It's almost guaranteed. You can't really ask for much better than that.
Yeah. And you touched on earlier, Chris, is something that
Pokemon.
Yeah. Pokemon, not Digimon. Sorry, Digimon had nothing on Pokemon. By the way, I remember.
It's absolute trash.
Even though its theme tune still sticks in my head.
Go on.
Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. You're not the champions, because Pokemon
you're rubbish.
is.
You're rubbish.
So shut up. But yeah, Pokemon cards. I mean, big part of my childhood, Pokemon in general. I generally think my childhood wouldn't be as good if Pokemon wasn't around.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think you'd be the man you are today if Pokemon hadn't been around.
Let me talk about theme tunes. One epic theme tune.
Go on, do that one, because that's what... Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all.
That was just brilliant. And I think I got into it first with the TV show,
Pokemon. Yeah, everyone was running home to see Sky 1, whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever it was on. For a while, we had sort of... I think it was NTL at the time. My parents got cable NTL or whatever.
Sky, yeah.
Must have been on a good deal.
Yeah.
And we just started watching it, me and my sister, Pokemon, and that's what got us in. And then obviously the cards came into school, And then it was Game Boy. Right, I've got to get the Game Boy Color, and I'm going to play Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Gold, whatever it was.
Pokemon. Yeah, no, you're right. It was great. I mean, it reminds me of we had a Scottish friend. Had quite a strong accent.
Why?
No.
Why?
No, we were at school.
Yeah.
And I just remember something that he said. He had a Blastoise card, which is, again, a popular card.
That was Squirtle
Evolved.
Squirtle Evolved, yeah.
And he goes, I got a Blastoise in a book. Sorry, that's a bit random. But yeah, Pokemon cards. And the funny thing is that, yes, it was a valuable asset for us as kids. You trade cards but now...
It teaches you a skill, by the way. It teaches you a skill when you're a kid. It's like, right, this is horse trading. I'm going to learn a bit of bartering here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to learn about the world of commerce through my Pokemon cards. But how much are they worth now, Tony? Are they even more valuable commodity?
Well, you think these are just for kids.
Yeah.
And these are like useless. And I'm sure, I'm sure you experienced this. Like my mum threw some away for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Your mum's thrown out.
I had a whole book of them. You had the book and you put them in the little pouches.
Okay.
God knows where it is now.
Prepared to be shocked. So you're probably going like, okay, let's go straight to the juggler. Like,
how much is it worth? Like £100? 1,000.
I mean, that is probably the average. I'm saying, like, what is the most expensive Pokemon card ever?
10 grand.
No, I'll tell you. It's the 1998 Pikachu Illustrator, and its approximate worth is $5.275 million.
Oh my God! But can I just ask? What is that? What does that mean? Illustrator.
Well, it's
that
clearly a unique card.
Yeah,
so it says,
I never had that.
From 1997 to 1998, Coro held 3 illustration contests: Pokemon Card Game Artist Contest, Mewtwo Counterattack Commemoration Artist Contest, and Pikachu Summer Vacation Commemoration Artist Contest. So basically, the winners of these contests each received a Pokemon Illustrator card. So 39 of these cards were created. Again, so only 39, although only 20 were distributed. Yeah. So again, scarcity, and it's connected to this unique event, I guess. So that Pikachu Illustrator card is the most expensive Pokemon card ever sold, and it was most notoriously sold to a YouTube celebrity, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
He bought a PSA 9 Pikachu Illustrator card. So PSA, I believe, is the quality of the card. You want the 10 is the highest, I believe. For $1.275 million in June 2021. A year later, he traded that card plus $4 million in cash to capture a PSA 10. So 10 is like the ultimate quality. Well, there you go.
He's such a pathetic idiot. He wore this card on a diamond-encrusted necklace in April 2022 when he entered the ring at WWE WrestleMania 38 to fight Rey Mysterio. Listen, I love Pokemon, whatever, but this guy's a twat. He's spending $4 million plus whatever he spent on the other one just to get a stupid Pokemon card, and then he's wearing it on his necklace when he enters the ring to WWE. Why do we have these people, Tony?
Well, you know what? He's made so much...
Get rid of him. Just get rid of him.
Well, he's all over the place, isn't he? Is he... I forget, is it about the Prime drinks?
Is he to do with that? Well, that's failing miserably, isn't it? I keep seeing them knocked off 20p in Sainsbury's or whatever.
Oh, right.
Remember when they were first out, you couldn't get a hold of them.
But there's a difference between the can and a bottle, though, isn't it?
No idea.
Okay.
They're both rubbish. I've never tried them.
I forget. I'm going to get this wrong. I'm going to comment if we're wrong. It's his brother. There's Logan and there's the other dude. What are the Paul brothers? Logan Paul brother.
Is it Barry and Paul Chuckle, you mean?
Jake Paul.
Oh, Jake Paul.
So Logan Paul, he's the boxer as well. I think makes money from that. But I guess from Pokemon cards, didn't he do the NFT thing as well with the monkey?
Probably.
Yeah.
Almost certainly somebody like him would have done that.
So, clearly he sees some value in it. I mean, let's look at the second most expensive card.
Yeah.
And it's this 1995 Pokemon Japanese Top Sun Charizard Scarce Blue Back, whatever that is. Approximate worth is about half a mil.
Yeah.
$500,000. And again, 1995 refers to it's a 1995 card. The actual card was distributed in 1997. It's a pre-first edition, and it has a blue back that resembles that of a playing card. Okay,
so all of them are quite rare. It's like it says scarce. It's scarcity.
And then the next one after that, the 1998 Pikachu Silver Trophy is about nearly $500,000. Oh, it's quite cute. It's not the best representation.
And they're
of Pikachu,
all in Japanese, though, aren't they?
So
I don't think I have any of these. Oh, that one might be in English.
Familiar.
Charizard.
Yeah. This one is, I guess it's...
First edition Charizard from the 99 base set.
Yes. So the edition here is what adds its value. So that sold for $420,000. So, the list goes on. There's a Blastoise. That goes on and on. So, I kid you not. When I was talking about these retro gaming sellers and they open up their stores and clearly there's a market of people buying these retro games, one of the actual owners said, you know what, I knew enough about Pokemon cards. But I had to get into it because it was hot. People going in there buying retro games. It's like, do you have any Pokemon cards? I want to trade. I want to buy these things. So if you think about it in our time, these are the sought after antiques from when we were kids. They were talking about, pocket watches and stuff like that. This is what our generation actually want, or Pokemon cards. So that's a very interesting, unique investment, I would say.
Any others from your end, Tony?
I guess it's just more the usual stuff where I'm seeing whiskey.
Run of the mill, whiskey.
I don't like whiskey. What about you? Do you drink?
I don't mind a bit of whiskey, but I'm not a connoisseur, a Scotch connoisseur. But you see bottles of Macallan, for example, going for might even be millions. I think very rare Scotch whiskey. But what if I did a taste test for you blindfold and I give you a Macallan and a Sainsbury's Basics? Do you think you know the difference?
Probably not. Just give me the JD and Coke. They obviously the whiskey snobs go this and that, and I think there is some truth in there. And again, it's scarcity because some of these very expensive whiskies, they've been matured in these oak barrels for how many years, and I guess it goes from there. Something that I'm not super interested in, but some of my friends they do like drinking it. You've got the usual kind of classic cards, but one that I would probably want to talk a little bit more about is, just because I see some YouTube videos around it, is sneakers.
Oh, yeah, I've seen a lot of that. People have a sneakers collection.
Yeah, and so I'm not sure if you're a fan of Kanye West. Do you like Kanye West?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say yes anymore. But we've had this debate before, haven't we, Tony, can you separate the artist and their art? If we went back and we went for Alice in Wonderland, for example.
Okay.
Who was that written by? Lewis Carroll.
Yeah.
There's some quite disturbing themes in some of his literature. There are some stories about him, but we still love Alice in Wonderland. When was it last made into a movie? Just a few years ago.
Oh, yeah. Alice in Wonderland was one of my favourite Disney movies, actually.
Yeah, well, the cartoon one. That was the best.
Cartoon,
so that's what I'm saying. So, same R. Kelly now. I go to a club, I can't hear Ignition Remix. Classic, great song.
Bump and Grinds for me.
Bump and Grind, brilliant. So Kanye West, he seems nuts, but some of his music is great.
So I believe his training was the Yeezy, Nike Yeezys.
Yeah.
And I hear that a lot, it's sought after. And that sold in Sotheby's and it's worn by Kanye West in the 2008 Grammys. 1.8 million.
1.8 million
second-hand trainers.
Doobies. Oh my good God.
And, not just that, but, you see a lot of kind of the would you say Gen Zers or millennials? They sell a lot of these Air Force One they come in, they're wrapped up, some of these trainers, and they...
Isn't it one of our mates, Mark, who said that he buys a new pair of Air Force Ones every year, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The Nike, or the Nike, whatever.
Yeah, and there are some ones that are like maybe unique drops. Like they don't have a lot of these. They don't make them often. So they sell, I've seen a few thousand. I've seen videos of them like buying a whole load of trainers for like 20k. And so it seems a sought after thing for a lot of people. They like the trainers. And there's actually a big fake market on these things where people are trying to get in on these, trying to sell these kind of fake trainers. And, you've got stuff like the Michael Jordans, the Jordan trainers. that is really sought after. I mean, people actually get robbed for these type of things as well. So you'd be like, do I want to walk around?
Be careful with it.
street
Yeah,
with these
you
things.
wouldn't wear those.
I mean, what are your thoughts on trainers?
Well, it's
Do
a
you
bit
even
like
care?
me. I'm currently wearing a pair of Adidas Special.
Okay.
But I just thought they looked stunning, to be honest. I know there was they've got a few different pairs, haven't they? And did you see that scandal with Rishi Sunak?
No, I didn't. What did
Yeah,
you...
he was wearing. It's not Special, luckily,
Yeah.
but one of the Adidas trainers,
Yeah.
and everyone stopped buying them. Which one is it? Samba. Samba's the one that most. You
That's
see loads of
popular.
people with those.
Yeah.
But apparently he's ruined it now. No one can get Sambas anymore. But that's why I've. But yeah, I normally go for comfort. That's why I often have New Balance. So I do sometimes have problems with my feet. New Balance, brilliant foot sport. But since I got these, which I actually bought in Malaysia because it was significantly cheaper,
All right.
I thought, I'm just going to try them. They look so cool.
Yeah, I'm saying I should buy for functional.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, these are brilliant. Look at that. They. You know, if anybody's watching this, you'll see on the video, it's arched like that. to
Okay, so
support your
they
feet.
help your feet. Okay.
And it's even better than New Balance.
Ah.
So if you've had New Balance, I recommend Adidas Special. And if you use my discount code, my referral code, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, so that's what I would say. And who knows, maybe these will be worth something in a few years because I wore them.
Yeah, and you worn them very well, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. They
will sell
certainly
very
smell like I've worn them.
What about you, Chris? What other unique investments would you like to explore?
Well, yeah, to start on a serious note, Tony. So talking about Malaysia, we all know
Yeah.
I was there just a few weeks ago, and the first place that we stayed in was this brand new complex attached to a mall,
Okay.
which I knew you would love. So it was a big, brand new shopping mall with all the brands. It turns out it's a Japanese brand, so they just brought everybody in. I couldn't believe it's kind of empty in this mall. Mm-hmm. Huge place. You just had carte blanche. You go around the whole thing. But yeah, it's just loads of tower blocks with apartments in them nearby where most of the time people are just letting them out. Airbnb or whatever.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So I thought you said... Sorry, I thought something else when you said letting them out. I thought like... I immediately thought of like farting for some reason. I don't know why, sorry. So you're just like letting them out.
Letting them out for people at Airbnb, whatever. And then towards the end of the trip, when we went back to Kuala Lumpur, we were in another mall.
Okay.
And somebody actually had an exhibition of this complex. And we went up to it and said, this is Lalaport.
Okay.
I kept calling it La La Land because I couldn't remember. This is Lalaport. And I got chatting to the guy who was selling it, and he said, look, this is a great business opportunity. It's whatever it was in ringgit. It worked out to be like £130,000 for like a 3-bed apartment or something like that.
What, to own it?
To own it.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, if you're from the UK, if you're earning a decent salary in the UK, US, whatever,
Yeah.
you can drop down the deposit on that. And he's saying it's probably like 8% yield. Something like that, even with Airbnb. So I would consider that, but I just don't know, because I've got friends who live in Bangkok, and they say what happens in Bangkok is they keep building and building and building and building, meaning that once you've bought your one, there's always another one round the corner, and it's kind of unstoppable, so it's not sustainable. So there are some peaks and troughs in the market. But I don't know. Kuala Lumpur, Bangkok, these kind of Southeast Asian destinations.
So wait, is this just basically an apartment in the mall? That's what...
No. It's like there's a think about like Westfield, Stratford, or even the one in Shepherd's Bush, and then you've got apartments right next to it.
Oh, okay. So
But there, I think, because the malls are such a big thing, there's not really anything else around the apartments there.
Gotcha. That's quite convenient.
But it's near the tube and all the rest of it as well, so you can quickly jump on the whatever it's called there. I can't even remember that, MRT or whatever.
Oh, right.
That's
my style. I like
But
that.
150k, you can drop it if you think there's a growth opportunity in these emerging markets. But yeah, I think a little bit more research needed on that. Art, Tony. We've talked about art before. If you can get yourself an art advisor and you just pick the next hot thing, your quid's in.
Yeah. But you know when we talk about... Because art is an investment form, but like what would make it even more unique, though? In the way that it's kind of created?
Well, look, listen. what you got to do is find something completely different. Right, so it could be just graffiti on a brick. And that's free of charge, Tony. You've actually just taken that brick out.
Yeah.
And you just put that on sale at Sotheby's.
Do you know what I'm thinking?
You say it's Banksy or whatever. Did you see that one recently where Banksy put up an artwork on a lamppost or whatever?
Yeah.
And somebody just went and robbed it in broad daylight with everybody filming him. Did he get caught in the end?
I don't know. Look.
Yeah, let's just go.
You know what? You reminded me of that Banksy when someone bought it, it shredded.
Oh, the one that shredded.
Yeah, that makes it more unique. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was what happened, and that actually might have made it more. There was in a Sotheby's auction.
Yeah.
He was sold the Banksy thing, and it just shredded itself. But yeah, so it was a stop sign, installed near Commercial Way in South London, and I think it was to do with the conflict in the Middle East.
Oh wow! With
sort of aircraft on it. 2 men have been rebelled after a South London street sign featuring work by the elusive artist Banksy was removed. So this happened in December, actually, in Peckham. And the Metropolitan Police are still trying to track down the artwork. One gallery owner told the BBC that the artwork could be worth up to £500,000.
£500,000.
His Instagram followers widely interpreted the work as calling for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. But yeah, I mean, how are you going to get that onto the market and get your 500,000?
You got to get to the right people who'd want to buy it, right?
Yeah.
That's what Sotheby's pay, but
Yeah. Well, I hope these people are found, Tony. That's all I can say. I really do.
Yeah, I mean. Art is good. I mean, I guess it's different forms of art these days, and as long as you've got a good story behind it, I think that's what adds to the value of it.
Listen, that's what it's all about. Art. It's about finding the unique next opportunity. But yeah, I think also trending areas, right? Sustainability is the big one at the moment. Sustainable investments, clean energy, or hydrogen, or whatever. Look at government policy. What are the sustainable energies that they're looking at? Which countries are just getting towards gripping and getting into that a little bit more, then you go for that market. You get some stocks in that area. Space tourism, for example. Now, Virgin Galactic wouldn't have been a good stock to buy. It's down like 97, 98%. But I actually own a space investment fund.
No, really?
Yeah, there's a space investment fund, investment trust. And it's Seraphim, I think, Space Investment Trust. They're slightly down from when I bought it, but over
the long
time,
run.
It's on the long game here.
Nice.
AI, of course, we've talked about a lot. Mm-hmm. But if it were me, and I had to do a unique investment, and I just say, right, I'm going to create something myself here with my millions, and then I'm going to sell it for a profit. What about like a theme park themed around something really cool that we know might be out there and people are really curious about, and there's even, educational fields around this? Bigfoot. Sasquatch. Is it Sasquatch they call it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, that's if you've captured a Bigfoot.
Well, okay.
Oh, no, it's just...
Good point. It'd be even better if it was like a zoo and we had a load of big feet just walking around. But we can just theme it around big feet. We can have statues of them.
Okay.
You could have a roller coaster that goes through his legs.
Oh, right.
Or into his mouth. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. So Bigfoot is the theme of it.
Yeah,
There's not actual real Bigfoot.
I'm open to either. But at the moment, they do prove elusive. I don't know about you, but I've never managed to catch one. Even though I've seen one multiple times. You actually want to impregnate one for the name of medical science.
For science, that's
for science, but you've not managed to do that either.
Well,
you came close a few times.
Well, we've never proven there was a Bigfoot, but because I thought that it was going down the unethical route of, back in the day when they used to...
like putting a chain around them and tying
like a bear, they put the bear thing and then they just... it's like a circus thing and people used to...
never.
No.
Never would I do it. Just themed around big feet.
Yeah. Hey, I think there's an interesting in theme parks, and if you can make it exciting, why not?
Yeah, I just think, I mean, you know, imagine that big roller coaster. She's like running after you, then you enter into his mouth.
Yeah. Is it
you
just
just go
kids only,
inside.
or is it adults?
Adults as well. Anybody. This is for anybody. You could have like a big feet teacups ride, you know, where it's twist around.
Would you have ladies with their bare feet for the dad? No, sorry.
You're talking about footfinder.com.
Yeah,
That's a unique investment.
You know what? You've led me on to another point I forgot to mention was what is a growing... It seems like a growing income source for a lot of young people these days.
What's that?
It's online. It's OnlyFans, right?
OnlyFans, yeah.
So I'm just saying that if you were to find an attractive person, say a hot girl, and you're like, look, we could be business partners, create an OnlyFans account. You know, she could blow up, or he.
Whoever it is.
They got beautiful feet. I don't know. Could it be worth investing in that and building that type of relationship?
And it's not even that expensive.
Yeah, it's nice. So you go, look, just get a camera out. I'll do all the production and stuff. You just take out the little tootsies.
That's
we'll
what
make
you
a
need
killing.
to do. Yeah.
And then they can scale it. You know, they can get more kind of talent, I guess, into your business. So it's maybe there must be an OnlyFans investment type of company.
Can you imagine if you got an OnlyFans account and you did it with a Bigfoot? And you did it with a female Bigfoot, and you just said, look, in the name of science, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not attracted to this Bigfoot one bit.
Yeah.
But in the name of science, I am going to impregnate this, or I'm certainly going to inseminate.
It has to be consensual, though.
Yeah, but it would be.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it would be. I'm sure it would.
How would you prove it is consensual if they don't speak?
Do they not speak? I'm sure they can nod or shake their head.
I mean, I think if a Bigfoot wouldn't want to tear someone apart, right? Say if there was a man trying to impregnate a female Bigfoot,
Yeah.
she would totally, like a gorilla or something, would just kind of...
Well, I don't know. I mean,
the
they've
man
proved
apart.
so elusive.
Knock 'em out,
I guess
easy.
the thing is, would they want to be recorded, given how elusive they've been over the years?
Yeah. But hey, I mean, I'm going to be serious. I mean, that would make money, I would say.
Yes.
100%.
Absolutely.
So there
Whether
you go.
it violates their policies, I don't know.
I think there'll be a way around it. When there's money to be made, I'm sure we can involve the right lawyers for this. Hopefully there's some interesting, unique investments for the listeners out there. It doesn't have to be a boring ISA or I don't know, premium bonds or anything like that. I mean, this could be something that can make you significant amounts of money for financial freedom.
Yep.
So, into picking next week's numbers, segment 3. So what are the stories out during the week that have kind of captured our imagination
And told us the numbers we need to pick.
for this upcoming lotto draw? So the first one I had, Chris, and I think the title just grabbed my attention because it had zombie in it.
Oh, nice.
So it said, zombie spice user poured boiling sugar water on sleeping prisoner's face in Calais jail attack.
Right. Okay. So it's a spice user. Now, spice, I don't know about you, Tony, I've never used it, but is that the one that can basically like paralyze you as well?
This is the thing. People, when they hear spice, it's not like chili. Just for those that don't know.
No.
I think it's a northern thing or something. They call it spice. I know it's some type of drug that, you know, people get off their face and it's like some type of, it's not fentanyl, but I see it as something like fentanyl when they're in this zombie state, in this type, you know, it's horrible. But this guy, you know, from what I'm reading here, I mean, look at him. He looks like a troublemaker.
Yeah.
So he's in prison for other reasons, and he's
Somehow he's got hold of spice in prison.
Yeah,
It should never have happened.
he's a user. So he's clearly gone after. So what does it say here? He's poured boiling water mixed with sugar over the face of his sleeping cellmate. So clearly there had some beef. And apart from just pouring boiling water, he's had sugar to it. I mean, I can imagine
I
that
would
being.
thought that was to sweeten the deal a bit. Just say, oh, at least it'll taste good.
I reckon it'll cause more damage. You think if it's like a syrupy thing, it'll be more horrid. So think about it. You're in prison, and you know, forget about all the horrible other things that can happen to you in prison.
Yeah.
Imagine you're dozing off, having a sleep, and someone's come, instead of getting stabbed or whatever, some evil prisoners pouring boiling sugar water over your face, so it's melting your face off. So I'm looking here. If the man survived, went to sleep on top, didn't wake up as the defendant boiled the kettle.
Oh, but hang on, I was just going to say that the spice user did claim that the complainant had spilled the water on himself while making a brew.
So the sugar thing.
That's right, the sugar, yeah. We don't know. Can you imagine, though? Wasn't it in that Airplane, the movie Airplane, where he just accidentally kept pouring water on his face?
I mean, it's possible.
It is possible. But anyway, justice is taking its course, and they've said that this was a deliberate attack. But, Tony, spice. What is the chemical name of spice? Can we figure that out? I think we've got to find out.
I'm going to have to Google this right now.
You can go and talk to Frank.
So, what is in the spice drug? And don't tell me it's cayenne pepper.
Synthetic cannabinoids.
So it's actually this is interesting. So spice is synthetic. How do you say
cannabinoids?
A lab-made drug. So spice is nicknamed for a substance containing one or more synthetic cannabinoids. Synthetic cannabinoids were originally designed to mimic the effects of cannabis.
Right.
However, they are more harmful and unpredictable than cannabis. They may be powdered chemicals dissolved and sprayed into paper or dried plant material. Okay, so it's the synthetic cannabis, basically.
My God, it can also be made into a liquid to be used in vapes. That is crazy. But it does say here, and even on this, many people experience unpleasant and unpredictable effects and health risks. This includes inability to move, dizziness, breathing difficulties, chest pain, heart palpitations, seizures, extreme anxiety, paranoia, suicidal thoughts, psychosis, vomiting, diarrhea, acute kidney injury. Where can I get some?
It's either got to be dirt cheap, because why not just take normal cannabis?
I presume. Yeah, I presume. I think I might skip that one, Tony.
Yeah, just get normal cannabis, I guess.
I wouldn't do that either, because it is currently illegal in this country.
Yeah, do it when you're in the Netherlands or the
US.
Certain states in the US.
If you are resident in those countries or states.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So the number for that one is 44, because the guy was named Dean Womersley of Bradford. Just having a brew.
44 years of age.
So yeah, he was 44 years old of age. So that's the number I'm going for. The next one I had, I guess we were talking a lot about luxury.
Luxury, yeah.
I like how you say that, luxury.
Yeah.
And it is a luxury brand that I've heard of. It's called Cartier.
Oh, yes. I'm there quite often.
Yeah, I'm sure you get... I did have a Cartier watch one time that I was given. I think my uncle won it in a poker game.
Oh, how much did that
I think it was worth 6k. Yeah, but then...
What did you do with it?
I think my mum flogged it.
You pawned it? Oh, no, your mum flogged... Oh, my God. First the Pokemon cards, now that.
I don't think it looked that good, to be honest. I don't think it was worth it, but I did Google it. And I was like, oh, okay. But hey, Cartier were kind of, I guess, they were kind of done over in terms of, I guess, money, really. I mean, they charge a lot for their products.
That makes a change.
But maybe they had a change of heart, because apparently this man snagged 14k Cartier earrings for $14. So maybe they were like, you know what, let's give back.
They should do it as a promotion. I mean, luxury brands don't really do promotions, do they? But it'd be a good one. You just say, look, we're giving back to the planet today. We're giving back to the world.
Yeah.
We're just taking a K off the end.
But, the real reason is that it's a website glitch. Have you heard those stories? A website glitch, and it's like, And to be honest, if the earrings were worth 14k, you don't want it. It's almost like this idea of pricing where you actually want super expensive. I kind of want it because it's worth.
And it's probably just this bloke was just randomly browsing to see if there was anything affordable he could get his missus.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, $14, that's not bad. But I must say, when they say website glitch, I'm going to be honest, I think that means somebody who's working on that website has committed a bit of a boo-boo there.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think that's just going to happen on its own. You normally have your inventory.
Yeah.
In the back end, and somebody's just, oh dear.
Nothing's worth 14k. Maybe that's the delivery price. I don't know. Yeah. It'd probably be more than that. But So the 27-year-old man snagged 14,000 Cartier earrings for under $14. So his name was Rogelio Villarreal, a Mexican citizen. So he posted on Twitter. It's 18-karat rose gold earrings on the jeweler's website. Cartier made a mistake listing it. The diamond is for 237 pesos, which is equivalent of $14. It said the correct price was 237,000 pesos, 14,000. And the funny thing is that after a few months of going back and forth with the jeweler, Cartier offered him a bottle of champagne instead of the jewelry. Like he would take that. And then he actually thought, he says, I have the worst luck in the world and I've never made any money, and what I have is because I bought it, wrote on social media. So I think they honoured the price.
In the end.
I think there was so much social media pressure, I think, that if they were to turn around and go, no, it's worth this amount. I don't know. In Mexico, it seems to. I reckon in the UK, do you reckon that would pass?
I think with the amount of pressure, maybe, but I don't think it does. I think, you're always told, but it said this price, and quite often they will honour the price if it's not a big difference.
Yeah.
I've had it before where it doesn't scan through and they'll just honour the price that's on the label. And once I realised that I'd actually got it completely wrong. And I'd been talking about the wrong deal, but they put it through for me anyway. But if it was that different, I think the law says, look, it's up to the retailer what price they sell it to you for. But obviously the consumer doesn't have to buy it, can take it back within 14 days. I think that's really kind of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's good PR, I guess, for Cartier. I mean, if they kick off a fuss, they'll be like, well...
It's basically, again, let's look at it this way. How much are their marketing campaigns?
Oh, exactly.
How much are they dropping on one out of home?
And to be honest, I never even thought of Cartier until I saw that article. Now they're in my consciousness. Oh, Cartier.
And you've had a watch before. Why not get another one? Unique investment. Investment.
Yeah, exactly. So the last one that I had
and this one is disgusting.
You know what? I saw this on the BBC website, and I talked about you went to visit some orangutans.
Yeah.
And I saw some horrible things that a monkey has done to a human.
And so you thought it's good to see humans getting their own back.
Well, the sad news is that this is the case. So the title of this one is Kidderminster Woman Pleads Guilty to Role in Monkey Torture Network. So that sounds horrible.
It's just awful. And it's Kidderminster as well. I mean, how...
Yeah, I don't even know where that is.
What's happening here? Oh, it's Midlands.
Oh, Hereford and Worcester. Okay, no, it's just I guess the internet is kind of a horrible place, and there is content that people will be willing to pay for to see that you probably won't get to see normally. Everyone has a little bit of a thing. Oh, what does that look like? And some people actually have rather sick, could you call it fetish or interest in these things? So. A British woman has pleaded guilty to being part of a global monkey torture network. So her name is Holly Legressley, 37, from Kidderminster, was a participant in a private online group that was paying people in Indonesia to kill and torture baby monkeys on video. Were you in Indonesia, Chris?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
And if I had have seen that happen, Tony, I would have flipped out, and I would have brought that orangutan with me to put those people in their place.
Oh dear, this is the cute ones as well, the only little...
Yeah, because they couldn't face up to the big boys.
Yeah, this is bully. They always pick on things that are smaller than them. Pick on something your own. Do that to a gorilla and see what happens.
Yeah.
So she's admitted to uploading 22 images and 132 videos of monkeys being tortured to online chat groups. That is grim.
And they did this on Telegram.
Yeah, because it's
so they shared all the videos and images. So they set this up to pay people in Indonesia to do it, and then just share the video. It just shows you how do they even come up with this?
Look at this guy here. That's one of the guys.
That's one of the guys doing it. Oh, that is dreadful.
I'm trying to look at how many years did she get them. So. She's pleaded guilty. It's a year-long investigation.
Or is the sentencing to follow?
Yeah, I think the sentencing is to follow.
7th of June.
Okay. And it looks like one of the guys in Indonesia that it seems like he's been given only 3 years, if I remember. So at least 20 people under investigation last year following the BBC's investigation. 3 persons were already charged in the US.
Wow, the ringleader of the group, McCartney.
Facing 5 years in prison. What are your thoughts on that? Is that too small? Or was that,
obviously they facilitated this happening and they've indeed enabled it, but they didn't actually do it. The people in this gang, right?
Yeah.
So it possibly is about right, but they've got to be rehabilitated in there. You've got to understand what is wrong with them.
Yeah, I mean, how many people would pay to watch? I mean, I guess it is lucrative for them to do it. And that says a lot about humans in general. But yeah, I think the number for that one was 37 because she was 37 years old.
And my goodness, hopefully she won't be out of prison before the time she turns 40, Tony. That's the minimum I can say. But yeah, Tony, just to bring it back to the lottery. So I thought this one is a cautionary tale, really. We do try and give tips for lottery winners. And just think about your situation before you win the lottery. So this guy won 80k on the lotto. He blew it within 2 months, his 80k. He's now desperate to get back on benefits, but there's a problem. So this poor chap, disabled grandfather Daniel Miller, won the jackpot in September 2017, and he'd blown the lot by November 2017. And his win turned into a nightmare because his benefits were stopped. He didn't know he had to declare the winnings. So this is just the kind of thing. If you are on disability benefits, and maybe you're wheelchair, and you just got to be aware of what are the rules here. He works in security but has long-term health problems. His wife, 63, Bridget, 63, is a full-time carer. So here's what he spent the cash on over a matter of weeks. A cruise, holidays, house renovations, and handouts to family, friends, and neighbours. Even neighbours. I mean, it's 80k, buddy.
Yeah, it's
don't go crazy. Yeah, it's 80k. It's enough.
Yeah.
To get you comfortable, maybe get a better home. Invest a good chunk of it.
How old is he again?
He just hasn't thought it through.
He's 60s, right?
Yeah, I think he's.
So I could say put it in your pension, but it's no point. It's like,
yeah, exactly. He's not got a long time to grow that. But yeah, so the Department for Work and Pensions discovered the prize and halted his payments and benefits and said he no longer qualified for housing benefit, income tax, council tax reduction, or any other means-tested handouts. Daniel says he is now living in poverty because he's not able to get any of that. He just didn't know he had to inform the DWP about this. After the cuts, he now only receives £1.08 of pension per week and his personal independence payment of £350 per month. So we do need to bring this out, though, Tony, to the government of, he's reported for having 80 grand. He shouldn't have had 80 grand and been getting these benefits.
Yeah.
But he didn't know. He spent the lot. It's gone now.
What's true. There's no point getting the 80k if that is what he's meant to live on for the rest of his life, then.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is another good point. Fair. And by the way, this is another good point about benefits and all the rest of it, I don't feel that people who say, they're so generous. I don't feel benefits are that generous in the UK. And if you have any kind of savings, you don't get them at all. So what is this guy meant to do?
Just say, I don't want the 80k, or give it away.
Give it away. Gift it. The 80k wasn't really going to be an incredible amount for his retirement, but... Yeah,
actually... It's worth investing. So what would be the best... What would a financial advisor say for him to do?
We should get one on and ask. Yeah. Should he have just given away the 80k so that he keeps getting his regular payment? Presumably the 80k is more than he would get over a 20-year benefits period. I don't know. It's tax-free. We need to do the maths, Tony, by next week. How much was he getting before?
80k, surely, for the next... It's not enough for... It depends what your... just standard of living is, but he's going to live for another 10 years probably. That's not enough to cover that.
Yeah, and I just feel really sorry.
Oh, but then what about his housing and rent and stuff? That might be...
hopefully he owns the place, but he might not do.
Yeah, he might. I don't.
I just want...
That's actually really good to understand.
Yeah.
Actually, now, to be aware of that. Actually,
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
If you are, maybe you're a pensioner and you're receiving disability benefit, whatever, just be really careful because there's a certain amount of cash you can't hold in order to keep receiving that.
So you're better off if he was a normal working man. This is actually great for him because nothing. He's just pocketed 80 grand to do whatever you want with it.
But he can't work, and therefore,
Yeah.
so I just thought it was really worth drawing that to our attention, and that's the number 17 on that one because he won that jackpot in 2017, September 2017. But Tony, really, just to lighten the mood a little bit, I thought this was quite interesting. So. Did you know that young people appear to be unaware of some much-loved British insults, which a poll suggests could all but disappear in the coming decades? So should we go through some of these British insults that are in danger of dying out within a generation? So just to give you the background, this poll asked 2,000 people which insults they recognised. It was people under 28 years old, right? So 2,000 people. So here you go. Let's go through it and tell me which ones you know. Numpty.
I've heard of it. I don't exactly know what it is, though.
Most of these don't. Git.
Again, I've heard
Harry
of that.
Potter.
I don't know if that's really bad or is it not that bad.
I don't think so. So just say 22% of people don't know Numpty. So that's fine. 26% Git. Scallywag.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Prat.
They still use that now.
Nitwit.
That's a bit old school.
Yeah, but my dad used to say nitwit. I hope it's not offensive. Plonker.
That's
Getting back to Del Boy.
That's only false and horse. That seems. I think that's almost. What's the word for it? Where you're not being too offensive.
Yeah,
it's almost like a
plonker.
Yeah, it's kind of like friendly insult.
And Tony, all of those are just in the 20%. Around 20 to 30% didn't know. So that's right. Pillock, 33%.
I think of a bird when I hear that. Is that a bird?
It might be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Toe rag, 34%. Yeah. Tosspot. Tosspot somehow does sound... I feel like that's a bit more offensive. Is it related to tosser?
Because this is what I was going to ask you. Because I'm like, what does tosser mean?
I think tosser is basically a wanker.
And what's a wanker?
Somebody who wanks off.
Which is someone that it's a more male than masturbates, right?
Yeah.
So if we were saying that toss means wank, so what is a pot? So are you saying that
they toss into a pot?
So is it like, are you calling someone a semen?
It could be.
I hear of people. I don't know. There are certain videos of that.
Should we just?
What is a toss? What is a toss pot?
Yeah. Should we just look at toss pot meaning? It says stupid or obnoxious person, a heavy drinker. Okay. Mid-16th century from toss and pot in sense container for holding drink, especially beer.
So I'm so far off this. Sorry, I was going through the logic of what a tosser is, and I thought that was
somebody who tosses off into a pot.
Oh, you are that pot. That's what I was thinking. Is that super offensive?
So you're somebody who gets tossed off onto. It's actually related to drunkard back in the day, British English from the Middle Ages.
I'm going to be really offensive, but I saw this at cum dumpster. I thought that was what an old version of. Sorry.
That is one of the most offensive ones.
Sorry, I apologise. I'll take that back. But that is a thing.
That is a thing. Okay, so we've also got drip. Yeah,
that's closed these days for kids. For young people. I'll check out my drip.
Yeah. So they just wouldn't know that.
Oh, it's interesting. The language is flipped.
42% CAD. 42%.
Yeah, I've never heard that one before. Yeah,
Ninny.
I've heard that. I didn't know if it was that bad.
7%. Blighter. That's a very old one, isn't it? You blighter.
That doesn't sound offensive to me.
I don't know it's that bad. Bampot. I've never heard of that one. Have you?
I've heard that sounds like a place in Thailand. I don't know that.
Yeah, and then lummox is about. I have heard of lummox. You lazy lummox. But actually, Bampot. Bampot, I think. Oh, foolish or obnoxious person. All right, Scottish. I think it's a Scottish. It was a pot for storing yeast. But I mean, what do you think? Should we be protecting these, or does language just evolve over time and it doesn't matter?
That is a good That is a good one because my friend. So me and my friend were talking about like language in general in London, how it's evolving. Like the idea that they were saying that Cockney, language, East End is almost being replaced by this more urban mixture of. You could call it roadman, whatever you call it, but it's quite interesting. Yeah, the linguistics, how it's evolving. It just evolves with the type of people that here as the community evolves as well. So, yeah, I like Plonker. I think it's just an endearing, funny thing. Or any British insult is just call something a thing like you donut.
Yeah.
You coat hanger.
You muppet.
You muppet. You could say anything. You doorknob.
Yeah.
You. What else? You
cock.
Yeah. You chair leg. Whatever. It seems to work. That's what I like about British insults, isn't it?
Yeah. Choose anything you like.
Yeah.
So we're going to go for the number 28 on that one because it surveyed 2,000 people under the age of 28 who didn't know what some of those were. But I think some of them you sort of get from your older generation parents or your grandparents or whatever.
TV shows,
older TV shows. And then the final one, so we've got to go through this, Tony. Couple receive huge backlash after giving wedding guests 15 unbelievably strict rules. So we can go through the 15 rules, and it did tell guests who didn't want to follow the rules to go home. So, here we go. These are the rules that were written down. Number 1, this is the bride and groom's big day, not yours. Do not get in the photographer's way, number 2. The attire is black and or gold, not red, blue, green, and definitely no white. Number 4, do not rearrange seats. We have a seating chart for a reason. Number 5, if you didn't put any money for the wedding, keep your should've, could've, would've to yourself. Your opinion is irrelevant. 6, pace yourself when drinking. 7, no big announcements or proposals. 8, if you can't handle or dislike the music being played, simply go home. This is a celebration, not a funeral. 9, this is taking over for the 99 and 2000s type events. There will be twerking. 10, use the bride and groom's hashtag when posting pics. 11, do not sit down all night. 12, no outside liquor. If caught, you will be escorted out. 13, refer back to rule number 1, which was this is the bride and groom's big day, not yours. 14, the bride and groom said what they said. 15, turn all the way up. So I guess I'm making a bit of a joke at the end. But Tony, what do you think of this?
Half of these aren't even like these should be like standard procedures at a wedding.
I just feel like putting rules in for what should be a fun event.
Half of them aren't that bad. I mean, to be honest.
So you're kind of in favour of it.
I mean, definitely no white, so you can't wear a white shirt then.
Yeah.
That's okay. Under like a whatever colour blazer, I thought that was weird.
Black and or gold.
Do not rearrange seat. I mean,
I thought they said it wasn't a funeral, but they said wear black.
Yeah, that tie is black. If you didn't put any money in the... Okay. Pace yourself when drink, fair enough. Some people do go nuts at
Yeah, especially open bar. But what does it mean? If you didn't put any money for the wedding, keep your should've, could've, would've to yourself. What does that even mean? It's basically just saying, make sure you pay us.
No, it's almost like, sorry, I can't put any money. Like, I'm poor, I'm in debt. Well, which is something that we did mention before, is that if it is a destination wedding and you're in debt, do not go. It's financially irresponsible. I mean, the no big amount of propose. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? If you had your wedding and someone proposed at your
I think it's just like, it's the big day, isn't it? The wedding.
Yeah.
I would never go and propose. It's just like...
If someone did that to you on your wedding... If I proposed to someone on your wedding, would you go like,
I wouldn't really care because I'm just not bothered about stuff like that. But put it yourself in your shoes as you're the one proposing. Why on earth would you choose to do it at somebody else's occasion?
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe because all your friends and family are there as well. But it's just stealing the limelight a bit, isn't it?
100% agree. It's like you're trying to one up. I mean, it's their day. Yeah. Why are you doing it on their day?
Yeah.
Selfish. Hashtag.
Some of them are right. I mean, the hashtag's weird. So every time you post it, you need to put their hashtag. But they haven't even said what it is. You know, do not sit down all night, okay?
Okay, I have an issue with 12.
There will be twerking.
No outside liquor. If caught, you'll be escorted out. But you're already out. So why are they escorting you out?
Yeah. Well, Well, I guess
I'm joking.
Yeah, okay. I see, yeah.
Out of the premises. I think you need to be more clear of that.
Yeah.
Twerking, is that... Do we still use the word twerking these days? Do people twerk?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure they do, and I think that's fine. Do you not sit down all night? Well, yeah. I mean, unless you're disabled.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
But
definitely.
they could have just put this in a more funny way. You know what I mean? Some of it is just like, do you not get in the photographer's way? Why? You don't need to say that.
Yeah, the photographer
The photographer can work it out. Yeah. It's our big day, not yours. You don't need to say that.
Unless the photographer's in a wheelchair.
Oh, true.
It could be.
Yeah. But would you hire a disabled photographer?
Equal opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, of course, would. But I was just wondering if you would.
Yeah, 100%. Why would
Yeah, as long as they've got an automatic.
Yeah, as long as they can take some photos.
Yeah.
It might be at a certain height, but that's fine. As long as they're getting shot.
What if they don't have working hands?
Then they'll have to use
Feet?
remote somehow.
A remote or feet?
Yeah, feet.
To take photos with their feet and put it on Foot Finder after?
Yeah, exactly.
Foot selfie.
One of the things that I was thinking is, what did it say about no big announcements? Okay, we did say no big announcements. But,
That's fine. And I think... yeah,
it's good to... I mean, it's fine. It's your big day. You can put a list out there if you want to. If you saw that, we'd be like, oh, screw it, I don't want to come now.
No, I'd still go.
Yeah, still go.
It's free, right? But yeah, I just think... just get people a bit hyped up with the invite. You don't need to put rules. I would maybe make it into a bit of a joke. You could do it in more of a jokey way.
Yeah. I mean, I did think about, some people, okay, we're going to go into weddings, but I feel like that could be a future episode when we talk about weddings. But...
Yeah, we probably will.
Okay, I'll save it.
Because, you could... Yeah. Well, go on. Let's hope, but, we could do... If you win the lottery, you can afford a wedding now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, here's a list of the gifts that I want. Some people have that list. They go like, a toaster, who's going to get that? And off. And it makes sense. It's actually something useful that you would actually use. If I won the lottery and I was a millionaire, I'll go, I want every single guest to create something original and just bring it in. You could draw a drawing on a piece of paper. Yeah. You can make something out of paper mache or whatever. Yeah. You could film a video. I mean, that's a gift that's personal that you created.
Send me a picture of your feet.
But for me, if that is a gift you want to give me and my wife or
wife to be.
Yeah, wife to be.
Dr. Ding. Dr. Ding.
Yeah. Then I'm happy to accept that because it's unique, right? It's something that you've created. Yeah. And that
you're talking about tosspot again. Just get that sent to you.
Right.
No, that's brilliant. And that one, Tony, is the number 15 because it was 15 unbelievably strict rules. So, Tony, the numbers that you're picking this week are, I think you're starting with number 14.
Yep, 14, 17, 20. Oh, no, 15. So 14, 15, 17, 37, 28, and 44.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I think we're into a lucky winner. What I found interesting, we did this before, we picked these out before we saw last week's number. And so we got 14, 15, and 17. And what was it last week? It was okay, it was wow.
Close.
Last year, and it was 12, 13, 14. And we picked these out without knowing that. So are we always a week behind? Something like that? I don't know, Tony.
The thing is that the numbers that come out every year, sometimes I look at it and I'm like...
You would never...
Yeah, I never thought that would be the order.
It's almost as if it's totally random and a game of chance with very high odds, very long odds.
And that does seem strange, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But hey, I think every week we always be optimistic.
We are.
And these could be the numbers, because nobody really knows what the numbers are.
We do.
Yeah.
We just haven't quite cracked it yet.
It's like in anything, like when you're in a job, right? It's like you need a good few years of experience before you start getting good at it. Yeah. We're just at the beginning of the journey.
Yeah.
So we haven't done a year yet. It'll be a year in September, I believe.
Yeah. It's been a crazy journey already. But
we're crawling at the moment. We haven't even learned to walk yet. No. So it's only going to get better over time.
I mean, when are you at the height of your mental sort of cognitive abilities in life? What, 40 or something? 30, maybe it's at 30s.
You know what?
Probably 40. I mean, you get wiser, right? You pick up so much wisdom over time. We need to search this if there's an answer to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like I peaked at 14. I know I keep saying this, but I generally thought that I was at my highest peak in terms of things were really going my way at 14, year 9. It was a great year. But hey, you know, it's all peaks and troughs, right?
It could get that's better. The glorious thing about life. You know, if you think back, I just think I went on holiday to Malaysia just a few weeks ago, and so many things have changed since then.
Yeah.
And things around the corner, you just never know.
You've got to stay in the game, and that's what we're doing.
And that's what we're doing here.
We're buying a ticket and we're staying in the game.
And with the help of Bernard's watch, we will win that lottery as long as we can actually turn back time.
Yeah.
But
do you know what's inspired me? We'll talk about Pokemon cards. I might just start buying them just for my own collection. Just for my own.
Yeah, it's a hobby.
It's a hobby. And who knows, if I do get... Imagine if you open up... Again, it's like winning a lottery. You buy a load of pack of Pokemon cards. You don't know what's inside them. So they do these openings on YouTube, don't they? When they open it to see what you get.
What do they call it? Unboxing and gift unwrapping.
Unwrapping or whatever. Imagine you get... No, you couldn't get that Pikachu illustrated one because that's an event. But if you could get like a Charizard...
You might get a random, really rare one. But just before we go, Tony, we should have a nod to, of course, by the time we get back, we will know the Premier League champions. It's gone to the last weekend this weekend, so
yes.
You're a big Arsenal fan, but I don't think you're that hopeful of...
I'm also a Tottenham fan now.
So what isn't it? Well, Tottenham fans are saying we're City till July. We're City till July. We're City till July.
Well, we'll find out if Liverpool beat Aston Villa. We'll give them a bit more skin in the game to actually... I generally know, it's true. If Liverpool beat Aston Villa, I think Tottenham would have something to play for.
Yeah.
I need to look back at the league. But at the end of the day, Arsenal have performed well for this season. They've got they will definitely hold their heads up.
They've made history. It's
the highest points that they've gotten. Great, I think best defence, goals conceded, and even goals scored potentially. So, not a bad season at all. I mean, Newcastle, you know, you might lose your strike. No, you don't know.
Definitely not.
But you look back at, you're on the trajectory upwards.
Yeah. As I said, peaks and troughs. We were 4th last year. We might be 6th, 7th this year.
Yeah.
But good times ahead.
You need to get a few more charges under your belt, and then you'll be going on Man City way.
So, 118.
Yeah. And then you'll be in the winning ways.
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right, then I guess we'll see you in the next episode of
Win Me the Lottery. Ciao, ciao.
Goodbye.